I'm back. Hi, everybody. Welcome. This is Brenda with Foxy's Creations. I'm going to wait for people to come back in. My stream ended, and I don't know why. But we're back. I think I'm back. Okay, good, Brenda. Yeah, I don't know what happened. It just went out, and there we were. We were gone. So I'm going to give everybody a chance to come back in. And then we're going to continue making our little beads. I don't know if it was YouTube, my internet, or what. Or a combination thereof. See, we got 4 people back. Hey, excuse me. Hey, Patty, how are you? Thanks for coming. So this is actually a continued version because my last stream, I just ended it because we were just all spinning. So I was saying this one I'm going to finish off camera, but the washi tape came out really pretty on there. Hey, Patricia, how are you? Thank you for coming. So the washi tape turned out pretty on that one. The rest of them, I was using strips of paper that I cut from a 4x6 sheet that I printed out, sticker paper that I printed out. And we need to finish this one. We need to string some beads on here, but I need to get a bead cap for it. And I think I want to do these. I think I want to do another one with the white beads and the crystal beads. So I need 2 of these white beads. Or do crystal. Oh, let's do that. I did not. Oh, and I got to put a bead down the middle to kind of hold everything together. So put a bead down the middle. Go down in there. And that just keeps everything straight. Now I want to do a crystal bead. And one of these white beads again. Come back here. If I can find the hole. There we go. And then a crystal bead. And let's see. I want one of those little tiny bead caps again. Right, put it on there. And that didn't go through the middle. It went through the side. So let's try that again. And Miss Muffet's snoring again. There we go. Now it went through the middle. Okay, so now I'm going to wrap it, and I'm going to do the double loop. So I'm going to wrap it around, turn my pliers, pull it up, make sure I grab both, and then pull it back down to make a double loop. And then work on getting that little piece to wrap around the wire. All I can think of with my internet, y'all, is it was raining earlier today, which can make my internet go completely wonky. Okay. Now what I want to do is snip off this little extra piece that's on here. Stand my little loop back up because it got turned the wrong way. Actually, I may want to bend it, wrap it around again, and then stand it up like that. Okay, that looks good. So now there's the bottom. So it looks really pretty from the bottom. It's got the bead cap on there. And then we got our glossy accents on our material. We just made our little loops so we can dangle it. But now it needs embellishments. And I think I kind of like how the one came out where we used both the ribbon and the blingy stuff. So I think we're going to do that again. Ribbon at the top. I need to cut it right there. And then we need bling. Let me pull the bling over here. Right there is what it looks like. And I only need one strand of the bling. Okay, now we're ready to go. And this will finish off the 4 that we were working on, and I'll finish the other one off camera, the one with the washi tape. Just going to put a bead of glue across the top here. Now I'm going to take the ribbon and put it in the glue. And I want to snip off this one little loop that got cut because it's not pretty. Okay, and I need an extra dollop of glue at the end. Just a little bit. Now where'd my paper towel go? Wipe that off. Dabby dabby. And I'm going to look at chat in just a moment. Let me get this stuck down. Hey, Oliver, how are you? Thanks for coming. How are you doing? I heard you got a new truck. Oliver is a longtime family friend. Like 21 years, right, Oliver? Oh, this is not sticking. Let me put some more tacky glue on here. I think it's because my hands are so gummed up right now that I'm sticking more than it's sticking. There we go. There's that. Yep, 2021. It's been 21. Now we got to put this on here, but I'm going to let that dry a minute first. Close up my glossy accents. So this is what we're using, these shank buttons as our centerpieces, and I just put wire on the shank so I could run it down through the spool. I also have some 2-hole buttons like this one that I threaded the wire through each of the little holes and pulled it through, except on this one, before I pulled the wire through the second hole, I added this dangle that I made so it can have a long, when it's hanging down the side of a journal, It has a really long dangly part. Yep, always 19, so yeah, 21. Long time. And for anybody that's just coming in, don't forget, I'm doing a sale on Sunday from noon. It'll be at noon Central. That's the starting time. Oh, we have another bead. It's back here drying. Something is glossy accents. We have this one. But I think I want to do something different to this one than the ribbon and the bling. I think I want to try something a little different. It'll still have the pretty. It just going to be a little different. Other options. You're so funny, Oliver. Okay. So what I want to do with this one, I'm going to pull this little bottle over here. I have these Nuvo drops, but I'm not going to use it as Nuvo drops. What I want to do, I'm going to just hang on to the end of it. What I kind of want to do is paint the very edge of my Nuvo drops are clogged. Well, where did that wire go? Now to find the wire, because, oh wait, here's the head pins. And I didn't use these because they were way too short to work with my spools of thread or my spools, but they will work to unclog the Nuvo drops. Maybe. There we go. So what I want to do is just paint the Nuvo drops just a bead. I may get my brush out, a very thin brush, and brush this on here so it's evenly put on. And I think that's what I'm going to do. So let me find this really thin, tiny brush so I can just brush this on here evenly. And get an even coating all the way around the edge. Thusly. Now I'm going to flip it over and use what's left on my brush to do the other side. Or no, it's not going to. I need to put more. So we're just going to spin our bead. And I'll just lightly, evenly coat this all the way around. Now I'm going to set it up in this bottle to dry. And it won't take it long because it's just a thin coating of the Nuvo drops. We're using it like paint in this instance instead of like the Nuvo drops. And Nick's gotten balder. Yes, he has. What am I making? We are making spool beads. So I took little spools. I wrapped them in paper, or in this case, washi tape. And then I put glossy accents on them to make them nice and shiny and pretty. And then we have put buttons up through the bottoms with wire and put beads on them and made them so that they can hang from like the side of the journal, so like the spine of a journal, on a bulb pin or something, or they could be used as ornaments on your Christmas tree, just all kind of things. A jacket pull on your zipper, that would be cute. And we still are decorating this one, so it should be dry enough now for me to turn it over and add another. So that's what we're making, our spool beads. Another bead of glue here. And then we're going to add our blingy stuff. Okay, now we're going to take our little blingy piece and I'm going to put it in the glue. Just right up against that edge again. And pull it around. And it, see, I cut off that extra one and I shouldn't have. So that's okay. I'll just put a dot of glue and we'll grab this one after I flip it over. I need to flip it over. Well, that one's got stuff attached to it. This one doesn't. And we'll pick it up and we're going to put it right in there. Like it was just meant to be there. Now I'm just going to sit here and hold all this together for a moment. And you can't tell that I even cut that out. Oh. I think I'm stickier than my project. Okay. Let me get this to stick down. And get that to stick down. And that one. There we go. And now I'm going to leave it alone and let it dry. But there we go. So focus. Focus, camera. Pretty sure I still have autofocus turned on. Yep. Focus. Although that is upside down. But my camera's not doing its autofocusy thing. I was trying to focus on other stuff there. There we go. So that's what that looks like. And I am going to just let it sit over here and dry. Hey, Mandy, how are you? Thank you for coming. Thank you, Mandy. So that was the last one, other than this one up here with the Nuvo drops that's drying. We're going to let it dry. We can just chat for a minute. I do have recordeds coming up for tomorrow and Saturday when I get them made on my Artsology Design Team project. And I want to be back tomorrow live working on the little altered food box. So this was a scalloped potatoes box. And now it's the cover for a journal. And we have our signature. So that's what I'll be doing live tomorrow, is working on that again. I'm doing good, Mandy. How are you doing? And you may have been talking to the other Brenda. Oh, thanks, Oliver. See, and they don't even look like spools anymore. That's what's so cool, is you start out with this wooden spool and end up with, let me get a dry one, something that looks like that. And they look completely different. So I think that's very nice. And I could see them hanging on a little tiny tree or from the side of a journal. Like I said, a zipper pull, just different things. So I'm going to straighten up the desk while we're waiting on things to dry. Kind of straighten up the desk. And that's Nuvo Drop, so I can't really, I'm going to move it though, because I want to show y'all this bottle. Well, now where am I going to put it? I can just put it where it can sit flat. That's what I need to do. Like that. That's a good spot. So this bottle, you guys, is an air freshener. You know those like little Renews It air freshener bottles that you replace and you put them in and they go upside down and then they spritz? That's what this is, or was. It's got napkin. I altered it by putting a napkin on it. If the camera will do right. And there's a glare from my lamp. And then I painted it, and then I put the purple, and I painted this. And it's just a cutesy thing. It sits on my desk. So even this could be from, it's something we would normally throw away, and then I altered this one. And I only have one more that I could alter. But little bottles can be altered. Put my bead back in its little baggie. Oh, thank you, Mandy, about the cover. Food boxes are great because they're thick enough and they can be cut down. And this is paper from a paper pad, and it's thin paper. It's not as thin as 20-pound paper like regular copy paper, but it's not as thick as the 32-pound paper I normally make journal pages out of. So it's a thinner paper. And so by having the food box, since it wasn't something I could print out, that helps and makes it thicker. So I'm just moving all my little snippets so I can make a space to put these and show them to you guys. I was looking for a piece of cream colored cardstock. I got one. We're going to use this as our background paper to show off our beads. So we have this one. And let me get some ball pens. Now I know where they are, supposedly. Yes. Let's get some. Let's see. We need gold and silver. And we only have 5 beads made. So I think they all need gold. Yep, so we don't need silver ones. We just need gold ones. And we need 5 of them. I put all these back in their little package. Okay. So this would be their little hangers. So we have this one. And it's got this long dangly part. The camera is not doing correctly. Block everything but the bead. Anyway, we have that one. And then we made this one. You know, these would also make, like, if you're doing presents for Christmas, can you imagine this hanging off the tag on a present? That would be pretty. So we have that one. We have the last one over there drying. It's Nouveau Drops. And we have this one with just the bling on it. Oh, camera. That pretty rose right there. And my bling is not stuck good. And then we have this one that we just put the bling on, so I'm going to do this very carefully. And there went my bulb pin to the floor. Okay, I'm going to have to get out another one because I can't see that one. So then we have this one. And they're all pretty on the bottom, too. I forgot to show you all the bottoms. And that one's just got that little dangly on there. But this one has glitter in it. And that's the way the button came. And let me get out another bulb pen, so pardon the rattly paper again. Because I don't know where the one is that fell on the floor. Okay. And let's see if I can get this one. And the Nouveau Drops are dry. Yay! And so we have that one that's got Nouveau Drops to make the gold edging instead of any kind of bling. And Erin Klossner is who was the inspiration for these. I was watching her one night make spool beads. So she is the inspiration for these. So I want to give Erin credit. Hers were different than this, of course, but I definitely want to give Erin credit. Because she is who inspired me. And there we go. That's the 5 that we made today. And we have this one that's not finished yet. That's got the washi tape on it. So you could use washi tape, paper leftover, strips of leftover paper, where you have your cutoffs from. Any of that kind of thing. And I keep my leftover strips live over here in a box. And I was trying to find some pretty ones for you guys. Because I have all kinds. Right now it looks like it's mainly coffee dyed papers. But any kind of your like 1-inch strips that you have from cutoffs from your paper, save those, because like this is one from earlier today when we were making the journal. This would be pretty. We need to cut it down a little bit, but imagine that. With the glossy accents on it and everything. That would be pretty. Wrapped on a bead. Hey, it focused for a sec. Wait, where's the camera? So that would be really pretty on a bead. And I did gesso my beads first and that kind of thing. And I'm going to turn autofocus off and see if we can get it to focus down here. So that's what we did today. We made these little spool beads for hanging on journals. So what do y'all think of this project? Right, it's a great way to use up your scraps. Erin is a sweetheart, Mandy. Thanks, Patty. You know, I saw Dances with Pitbulls today take a cereal box. No, it was a Ritz cracker box. She bought family size Ritz crackers. And she made ATCs out of it. And what was interesting was she thought there was going to be leftovers to make inchies and twinchies. She only had one 1-inch strip left over from one side of the box that she was able to use to make inchies. I saw the comment about they're making boxes for us. They were exactly what she needed for her 2.5 by, the ATC size. And it was awesome. So it does seem like they're making boxes for us. Right, Brenda, your corks would work perfect for this. And I did see on Pinterest a picture where someone used the corks, and I was thinking I could do that with spools, but then I also remembered that Erin made spool beads. And so combination Pinterest inspiration and Erin, but definitely Erin. But corks would be awesome for this, definitely. So there they all are lined up. And I'm not sure whether I like that one, but I kind of like the ones with the ribbon and the blinks too. So that's it, guys. I am going to put up a recorded on how what I think about COPA and how it's going to affect my channel, or COPA, however you pronounce it, and my take on it. So it's just my opinion and my take, and see if anybody else agrees with my way of thinking. I don't know. That whole thing is so crazy. Right. 2 for 1 because they love us. So that's all I had for this video, you guys. Don't forget I have a sale coming up Sunday. Also, because none of us really know how COPA is going to affect us. If you're not a member of my Facebook group, the link is down below to join the group. It is a private group. Also, I have a Foxy's Creations Facebook page. If something should happen to my channel, I'll be going live on one or both of those through Facebook. So if you want to follow me, you would want to be in those, or following the creations page, as well as a member of the group, so you would be able to see when I go live and stuff if something happens to my channel, because no one really knows what's going to happen come January 1st. So I'll be saying, and I'm going to sound like a broken record on my videos because I'm going to I usually don't push my other stuff, but because of this, we kind of all have to. So check the links down below for my other social media. Well, no, what will probably happen to them, Mandy, after the 10th, YouTube is going to go through, and if no one has made a decision on their channel, they're going to make it for them, and they may pull the videos, they may pull the channels. So they wouldn't end up fined in January because YouTube will probably pull their stuff off. Right, Brenda. That's what I'm saying. And I had an idea, you guys, because all of us here are crafters. What if we made kind of a united crafters group where we could all, one group on Facebook, where all of us go live? We wouldn't be able to go live at the same time, of course, but we could all go live in the one, a place for our viewers and our subscribers to all go. And if Patty wanted to go live, Patty could. If I needed to go live, I could. If Carla wanted to go live, she could. Same thing with Mandy. We would all be in the same group, and it would just be one group of like a united crafters kind of thing, where you wouldn't have to be a member of so many Facebook groups, because we may all end up on Facebook. I don't know. I don't think anybody really knows anything at this point. Right. And I do have, I don't know that I have my Instagram in my description box yet, but it will be, because I realize I've got to get everything out there. Due to what's going on. So, and I encourage everybody to do the same thing. Well, it's very confusing, Mandy, and I've watched a couple of lawyers on YouTube who said they're lawyers and they don't even understand the rules. And if a lawyer can understand it, how are we supposed to? Right, you wouldn't lose your besties like that. So that's an option out there. Also joining the different, in case we don't all make a collaborative group, join the different groups, because that may be our only option. And I'm going to be talking about, what I see as my options in the recorded video if something happens to my channel. So, Mandy, you would do a group like that, a collaborative, like whatever we called it, the YouTube creators group, places to go live. Because I think that would, like, your subscribers would join, my subscribers would join, and whoever else people, their subscribers would join. There's no channels to grow at that point, but it gives us a place as a collaborative to all communicate with each other, all be able to message each other, show pictures to each other of our work and that kind of thing, as well as a place to go live and know when people are live. Well, I'm going to put it out there on my channel when I do the recorded as an option. And I know nobody wants to manage a group. I would be willing to manage a group. I already have my one group, but I would be willing to admin another one. Rogue YouTube. The rogue YouTube creators. That's funny, Brenda. Right, it is the FTC. But the thing is, if you think about Facebook, no child wants their parents' Facebook. They want their parents' YouTube. I know that my nieces and nephews don't ask their parents if they can borrow their Facebook. They want to watch YouTube on their phones. And I think that's where the problem comes in. Facebook right now, I think it might have some problems later on, but right now that's not something that kids want to borrow. Hey, Nana, how are you? So that's the one thing that Facebook has going for it that YouTube doesn't, is parents create a Facebook account, and that's not the place their kids don't want to talk to their parents' friends. And with it being, if we made it a secret group where they had to ask to join and not a public group that anybody could watch, if it's a secret group or a private group and not public, people have to ask to join the group. We could keep kids out of the group. It wouldn't be a problem. It would just be adults in the group as part of the group. And so I think that could work both ways. We wouldn't have to worry about children watching our videos and what content they have. And could it be child enticing and all that could be maybe stuff. Oh, yes, I will. I forgot, Nana. I'm sorry. I got busy earlier. And I will send it to you as soon as I'm off of here. So that's where I think Facebook would have an advantage over YouTube. Is we would, as crafters, would be in control of who was in the group. Whereas on YouTube, you're putting up public videos that anybody can watch. Age range is not supposed to be an issue, but YouTube doesn't make it an issue. And parents aren't evidently making it an issue. Oh, thank you, Nana. So I'm going to put up a video on what I think and how I think it could affect my channel. And hopefully I can get some feedback on whether my thinking is correct or not. But I don't know. I could be completely wrong. I just don't want to be a person going around going, the sky is falling, and then the sky doesn't fall. It turns out to be an acorn. My friend gave me these in a Happy Mail, Ramona, and I don't remember what Ramona bought them for. And she either got them off of Etsy, not Etsy, well, Etsy maybe, eBay, or Amazon. Just wooden spools. And I'm at the end of my wooden spool. I have these ones, and then I only have these last few undone. And then I'm out. Oh, wait, here's another one over here hiding. Because I found them all. I went and found them all today to make my wooden beads. My spool beads. So, those are the only ones I have left. But she got a whole bunch of them. And I want to say, I'm going to ask her so I can tell y'all where she got them from. Exactly, Brenda. I agree with you. See, that's me, Mandy. And here's the thing. It wasn't YouTube that collected all the data. It was Google. So it makes me wonder, did this happen before Google bought YouTube and YouTube seeing the fallout from it? Because Google now owns YouTube. But Google is also one of the biggest search engines on the internet. So were they tracking kids that were typing in like Batman Forever or Batman toys to direct ads at them? Ended up being on YouTube. But it's Google that's the problem. But now it's all one thing because they bought YouTube and everything else. Exactly, Brenda. And YouTube could be like a loaded gun in a lot of ways. They see things on here they shouldn't see, definitely. Right. Right, Mandy, I agree. Parents just blindly hand over their devices to their child and expect the device to become a babysitter instead of them monitoring what their child is doing. And then we're all paying for it. So I don't know what's going to happen, you guys. I hate to say we have to wait and see, but we kind of. The main thing is that by the 10th, you select something for your channel. Either made for kids, made for adults. All that means is it's made for people 13 years and older. Or you're going to decide, there's 3 options. Made for kids, made for adults, decide per video. I chose made for adults. I don't make content for children. So mine is made for adults. There are some videos I'm going to go back and mark as children, like my Halloween journals, because the little owl on the front cover is kind of cute, and a child might be enticed to watch the video based on the owl on the front cover. So those kind of things I'll change. Right. Right, Brenda. I would have no idea how to collect somebody's information. And I'm not the one that puts the ads up that get directed. So that's not me. Right, Nana. So you could go in and select right now, I would say I would base it on what you're doing now and maybe go back and mark all the ones you made for your grandchildren as made for children. But that way your whole channel is not affected, because the made for children thing means no notifications ever. So if you go live, no one's going to get notified that you're live. No one can comment on your videos. No interaction, no community tab, nothing. No one is even, at that point, it's like, why even exist on YouTube? Because no one's going to know that you're doing anything. Right, Mandy? It's like blacklisting yourself, because no one's going to know. Well, Nana, what you could do is create a whole new channel. Leave this one and put it as like children. Put up a video letting your subscribers know that you're creating a new adult channel with no children content on it, and have us all subscribe to your other channel, because I would in a heartbeat. And that way you could leave this as a children's channel if you wanted to do that. So, I mean, it's crazy, you guys. It's crazy. Oh, okay, you put most of those to private. Well, that's good. So, see, that could help. And right, see, I had one video where Livy was on here with me. She was my 8-year-old niece, and her hands were in the video waving when we said goodbye at the end like this. I moved that video to private because there is a child. Well, she's sitting next to me. You can't see her. We were making popsicle stick ornaments. You could see her crafting over here, but her hands were on the video. So because of that, and because she talked a little bit on the video, I moved it. I did move that one already. I'm not sure what they were doing, Brenda. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. But I'm going to get off of here, and I'm going to put up my video later with my opinion and what I think is going to happen with my channel and all that after watching several videos. I think I may have it right, but I'm not sure as far as my channel is concerned. We will just have to wait and see, I think. Come January, no one may have a channel. But see, and they say January the 1st. Here's the thing, you guys. The FTC is not going to be open on January the 1st. They're a government agency, and they're off on the 1st. So I don't guess anything will happen on YouTube until the 2nd at the earliest. It's everybody, Patty. It's every YouTube channel, everybody that's on YouTube. It's not just us. It's the only reason we're being affected is because of that weird, ambiguous, not just a created for child, but child attractive. If a child looked at these spool beads, would they be attracted to come watch the video? Probably not, but I'm not the one who makes that decision. The child attractive thing, it's what's attractive to a child. Some child could be attracted by the pink label on the glossy accents, and another child not think twice about it. Right? Every channel's getting affected. And it's because of that. I create my content is created for adults. It's directed at adults. But It's that child attracted thing. That's why I'm moving the Halloween journals over, because a child could look at those, be attracted to the owl, and could technically watch that video. Not intended for children, but because it's got the cute little owl on it, it could be child attractive. And they need to specify what that is, because what is that? See, that's the thing. Who was it? Sonia Steptoe put up her video where she's got all these fairy things, and they're not intended for adults or for children. But she's made several fairy journals where there's some cute little fairies and stuff. What is she supposed to do? Take all those videos down or move them to private or unlisted? She's talking about completely taking her channel down because she can't afford. No one can afford the fines. I know that a fine of $42,000 would more than break us. It would be horrible. And see, my thing is, here's my thing. Right now, the sales that I'm doing is the only way that I'm supporting us to pay our bills while Nick is not working because of the accident. So if they do shut my channel down, then what do I do? And I'm not the only one in that situation. There's other people that depend on sales on their channels the same way. Oh, you're welcome, Patty. Yes. So here's what I was thinking, y'all. Tell me this. Please don't be offended. If this is on every video, just like that, these are not advertised on TV, cannot be, they're not in any magazine. Does this make my whole entire video now adult content because that's sitting there? It's not lit, but it's sitting there. That's my question. Something as simple as this. Could that, if that's in every thumbnail on my channel, change and make my channel completely adult regardless because this is sitting here? Because if that's all it takes, there'll be one on every video sitting like that. Won't ever light it, but it'll be there. So I don't know if that's a solution or not, because I don't want to cuss on my channel to make it adult. But that could work. I don't know. Because you sure can't advertise them on TV and in magazines anymore. Well, if you make it age restricted, Mandy, you lose monetization. That's the only reason people wouldn't want to make it age restricted, because an age restricted video can't be monetized. Making it a kid content, you still get monetized, but you're going to lose a lot of ad revenue because all of the age directed ads won't be there. You think that's interesting? See, Mandy, that's me. I'm only 500 and something subscribers. So I'm not sure what the effects are for me, but if that's what it takes to make it adult content, I'll lay one on my, I'll just explain it. It's there to make sure that this is labeled adult content, period. See, now I don't know if it would or not, but think about it. It's definitely adult. You don't see advertisements on it for TV. There's no ads in magazines. Would that then make this all adult? I don't know. But it could. I have no idea. That's one my husband came up with. He's like, just set a cigarette on your table. I'm Nick. I don't know about that. Right. Every penny helps. Every penny helps, especially if what you're doing is taking which I'm not right now, just so y'all know. Anything I make does go straight for our bills while Nick is out of work. And that's why I'm doing the sales. If you look at my channel, up until he got hurt, there were never sales on my channel. That may change now because, like I said, I got another one coming up Sunday. But even a little bit that you make, anything I made from selling journals in the past allowed me to be able to go and buy stuff at a Hobby Lobby or a Joann's or somewhere when they had a good sale. It's not something I did often because we just don't have the money for that with us taking care of Mother. And so, and anybody that's watched my channel for a while knows that we take care of Mother and stuff like that. And that's gotten a little bit harder too with Nick being where he's injured like he is. Brenda, you're funny. I know. No, I don't think people realize when you do a sale, all the stuff that I never did that goes on behind the scenes. It's not just the sale. Now you got to box everybody's stuff up together. You got to invoice them. You got to package it and send it in such a way that it's not going to get damaged. Find the cheapest shipping rates. It's not as easy as everybody thinks to do a sale. The sale part's the easy part. It's the rest that happens after. He is doing much better. He is in the wheelchair less on the walker more. There's still wheelchair usage, definitely, because he can't stand for long periods of time because he's just now started weight bearing on his left foot. So that's still the problem. And he can only weight bear on that foot if he has it in the immobilizer. So we're still in the immobilizer. The fracture blister still has not healed all the way. It's still a great big sore on the side, about like this big on the side of his ankle. So he's got we're looking at probably January before he can go back to work. And because he's self-employed and our state has a donut hole for insurance, we don't have insurance. And there's no workman's comp because he's self-employed. So what I mean by donut hole, in this state, if you make less than $18,000 a year, you qualify for state-provided insurance. Well, Nick makes more than that. In order to qualify for a government assistance for your insurance payments, you have to make as two people at least $25,000. He makes less than $25,000, so there's no subsidy. So we're in between the $18,000 and the $25,000, which means we need to pay full price for insurance. $900 a month per person. That's his whole income, you guys. Who can afford that? So we're in that gap where there's no coverage unless we can figure out a way to pay $900 a month for each of us to have insurance. So we're getting the medical bills handled, but there's no workman's comp because he's self-employed, that kind of thing. No insurance where he had disability because of the gap. And it's just crazy. To me, when the government decided to do government insurance here in the States, there should never be a gap. Where this leaves off, this should pick up. So where the state says $18,000 unless we'll cover it, the subsidy should pick up at $18,001 and higher. You get a certain amount of a subsidy based on your income. There shouldn't be a gap where you're not covered at all. But we won't get into that no more. Oh, I know, Mandy. When I got the call that morning, this is what he said. I think they had already given him medication in the ER. He goes, "Don't be mad." And I'm thinking because he drove Mother's car that morning, he wrecked her car. I'm like, "Please tell me you didn't wreck Mother's car." "No, but I'm at the hospital." And I'm like, "Why are you at the hospital?" "I fell off a ladder." "And how high up was the ladder?" 18 feet. And I'm like, "Are you okay?" Oh my God. Because up to that point, I had no idea what kind of, what we're talking about. He's giving me information in little bitty bits. So, and yes, he broke both legs. Bless his heart. Yes, you fall into the crack. I know I was not prepared for he fell off the roof 18 feet in there. But y'all, again, he could have been injured way worse than two broke legs and two broke ribs. So it could have been much, much, much worse. And so I'm very thankful that it wasn't. So I'm doing what I can to supplement our income through YouTube right now because that's all we have. And I'm very appreciative for everybody that buys from me. Everybody that buys from me. I know that's what, that's the good thing is that it wasn't any worse. So we're just waiting. And then on top of all this, the doctor's saying that in 6 months to a year, his left foot's probably going to have a fusion done. So he may be able to go back to work in January, but he's still going to have another surgery down the road. Yes, Brenda sends him falling off the roof jokes, which are rather funny. Nope, his foot will never be the same. Or his knee, now that it's got a plate and 8 pins in it. Well, Nana, he did this at work. They were at work. The thing is, he's a subcontractor. So there's no workman's comp when you're a subcontractor. And everybody says sue the landowner or the homeowner because his homeowner's insurance would cover it. And I have a problem with that because the homeowner did nothing at all. In no way was the homeowner at fault for Nick falling off that roof. It was a freak accident, and I just am against suing the homeowner. And Nick is also against it. It just doesn't sound like the right thing to do, suing somebody for something that was a freak accident that they didn't do anything to cause. So, but that's why there's no coverage and there's no temporary disability because of the insurance problem. We don't have insurance that would have covered this and provided with temporary disability. He is employed by a company, but they're subcontractors. So they're considered self-employed. He gets a 1099 at the end of the year and not a W-2. He has not, Mandy, and here's why. In our state, pretty much everybody that applies in the state of Alabama is denied always. My brother has had 3 back surgeries and a hip surgery and a neck fusion. He applied for disability and it took him 3 years to get disability. He was denied. He had to get an attorney and it took 3 years for him to get his disability. So we know what we're facing. By the time you apply, they have to give you an answer within 90 days. It's going to be a denial. So that's 3 months down the road. Then you have to get an attorney and respond to that denial within 30 days. That's another month. So now we're 4 months. And then it's however long it takes to sue him to get it. By that point, he's going to be back to work and our financial situation is going to be fixed. So it's just crazy here. No, man, you see, that's where we fall in the crack. His income, because being a roofer, if it's raining, you can't be on a roof. If it's too cold and there's frost on the roof, you have to wait for that to melt before you can get on the roof. If there's a heavy dew in the morning and the roof is wet, you have to wait for the sun to come up. So it affects their hours. They're totally weather driven. So there were times like in the early part of the year where he may have only worked 3 days. I mean, we were still paying our bills and making it on that. But because of that, his whole total income for the year is below the 2,400 or 25 or 24,000 that you have to make as a couple. But we're more than the 18,000 that the state says, if you make less than 18,000, we'll provide you with insurance. So we're in between that. His employer doesn't have to provide insurance because they're considered subcontractors. We're supposed to have our own insurance. We get an exemption from the government because we fall in a crack. So, but we can't afford the $900 a month it would be if we don't have a subsidy. Right. Once he gets approved, it would be a lump sum of the back pay. But we're just looking at it as at that point, we're not in a financial crisis anymore. By then, he will be back to work and everything will be back to normal. And it's just ridiculous, is what it is. Thanks, Mandy. Yeah, he'll be back to work. It's just a matter of when is he going to be able to bear weight on that foot and walk like normal. That's the only thing. Right, Nana. Like my brother put in, it's 3 years after the fact. So he got 3 years of back pay, but it took him 3 years to get it. Does that make sense? Because he was denied, had to get an attorney, and by the time it got to court, all that time had passed, and he got his disability plus his 3 years of back pay. But see, if Nick say he files for disability, we're denied, and 3 months later he's able to go back to work, he wouldn't get back pay if it took 3 years. He would only get back pay for that portion of time he was disabled, which is still fine. But again, we'd have to wait for a long time to get it. Oh, Mandy, I always plan for the what ifs in life, but this was one that was really hard to plan for. Right, Nana. Right. See, before we had the insurance, the government insurance, we had a subsidy, and we were only paying like $350 a month for both of us because we got subsidized insurance. They gave us money to apply to our insurance payments. We don't qualify. You don't qualify for the subsidy at all if you're below 25,000 a year as a couple with no children, no dependents, just me and Nick. We have to make 25,000 or more to get the subsidy. So there is no subsidy. So the government says, "Oh, you don't make enough to be subsidized. Your state says you make too much to get theirs, so we'll exempt you." So they give me the exemption so I don't get fined for not having insurance. Because the government realizes we can't afford to pay $900 a month for insurance on income, the income. It's crazy. Oh, I know. Insurance is outrageous. And those who live in countries that do their, like, Nana, I know you're in Canada. I think y'all's insurance that your government provides is way better than what we have here. I wish that our country could have taken cues from other countries that have done it and have done it longer than to have what we have. But that's everything for today, you guys. I need to get off of here and go do a couple of things around the house and everything. But I will have that recorded up later on what I think COPA's going to do for my, how it's going to affect me and that kind of thing. And I appreciate everybody sitting here and chatting and everything. And I hope to see y'all making some of these spool beads or cork beads or something, because I think they're very awesomely cool. So thanks, you guys, and have a great evening. Bye. Hugs and blessings.